Hi everybody, it's Nicole from the Hudson Area Public Library, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a paracord bracelet. Now the supplies that you need for your bracelet can be picked up at the Hudson Library. They're in a kit starting the summer of 2021 on August 9th, which is a Monday. So anytime after August 9th, you can stop by and pick up your supplies. There's lots of different colors of cording, so you can pick your color, bring it home, and then come and watch this video to learn how to make your bracelet. One other thing I'd like to say, if you finish your bracelet, please send me a picture at the email below so that I can see how your bracelet turned out. I'm really excited to see what you guys do with these crafts. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around and we will start making our bracelet. See you in a bit. All right, we're ready to start making our bracelet. So I've got some scissors, I've got a lighter. We're going to use that at the end, and I'll talk about that when we get to finishing off our bracelet. And of course, I've got our paracord. So the first thing you want to do is unbuckle your buckle. So you're going to need it apart to make your bracelet. You want to find your two ends to your paracord, kind of hold them in your fingers. Take this part of the buckle, the part without the prongs, okay, and you're going to go up through the bottom, okay, kind of hold it in your fingers and pull your paracord through, okay, until you get down and you just have a little loop left. Then what you want to do is go back and get your two ends. Okay, put them through that loop and pull. Make sure you keep your ends together, okay, the same length, and you should create kind of a slip knot like that. Okay, then check, kind of untangle as you kind of pull your paracord down and make sure that those ends are still at the same length, and we are. All right, so now you're going to take the other part of your bracelet and you are going to go up through the top. Okay, so you want to turn it like that because, all right, you want them facing down, go up through the top. And again, keep your ends together and pull. Now, this is kind of the trickiest part of this whole thing. Is you need to, number one, get your strings straight. Okay, so this actually needs to go like that, or maybe like that. We'll see. All right, and you need to measure how much string you need to go around your wrist. So kind of get it around like that. Pull this buckle part and snap it. Now you might need some help on this from an adult or something, because it can be kind of hard to do with one hand, but that's what you want to do. Okay, and then you just want to pull this and tighten it until it feels kind of snug, right? I kind of like to be able to put two fingers under there. I don't like mine real tight. Here's the other one I did. That's just how I like it. But that's up to you. So I kind of put two fingers or maybe even one finger, okay, and just make sure it's the right length. You don't want it too tight or too loose for around your wrist, okay? Then you want to unhook it without moving it off the cord and hold that in place, all right? Now what you want to do is switch around. Go up here, and you will want to hold this here, and you want to have the one strand going off to the left and the other strand going off to the right. So it kind of looks like that, okay? All right, so now we're going to do our first knot, I guess, or our first weave, and it's the same pretty much every time, but you switch sides, okay? So keep this straight, kind of hold that. You're going to take your left strand, you're going to cross it over like that. Try to do this so you can see, okay? You're going to take the right strand, go over the left, and then you want to go under both of these strings and through this hole right here and pull it through. Make sure your buckle stays in the right place. Okay, and then tighten it. Okay, and that's your first knot. So now that this is in place, this is also a good time to just put it back on your wrist and check to make sure that you've got that right length. So I'm going to try to fold this over, buckle it, which is so hard to do with one hand. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. That looks pretty good to me. I kind of like it a little loose, so I'm going to keep that. Now, if this is too tight or way too loose, you just want to take out that first knot you did and adjust that buckle again, because you want to make sure you get that right now and not do the whole thing and find out that your bracelet is too big or too small and it doesn't fit around your wrist. Okay? All right, so now we're going to do the next knot. So you always cross the knot over, or the strand over that has the little bump on it. So here's my little bump. So I'm going to take the right strand, cross it over. Okay, take the left strand, go over this one, around the back, and through the loop, and then pull. All right, there we go. Now we're just going to do it again. My bump is on this side, so I'm going to take this one, cross it over. This one goes on top of the strand, back around the back, and through the loop. Pull, and then pull it tight. And you can already start to see the pattern. All right, here's my bump. So this one goes over, cross it over. This one goes over the top, back behind, and up through that loop, and tighten. Okay. My bump's on this side. Do it one more time. Over the top. Cross that one over. This one goes over that strand, back around the whole thing, and up through the loop, and pull. Okay. Now, you just want to go ahead and continue that pattern until you're all the way done at the end. And we'll come back when I've got that part done. All right, guys, I'm almost down to the end. You can see I've just got a little bit of those 2 cords showing down here. Just one thing I wanted to tell you that you can do too, depending on how tight you're pulling this, you might be able to kind of push up. See how I pushed those up? Pushed the knots up and got more cording to show, so I can do more knots. I kind of like that because it makes your bracelet a little sturdier and stuff. But if you like it looser, you don't have to do that, okay? But you can push this up, and then you've got room to do a few more knots. So I'm making sure that I tighten that really good well as I go. There's my bump. So I'm going to go here, over the top, around the back, through the loop, and pull. All right, so now my bracelet is pretty much done, except for this leftover hanging out, okay? So the first thing you want to do is cut them. So you're going to take your scissors and just cut them pretty close. 1, 2. Now this is the part where you might or will probably need help from an adult, depending on how old you are and so forth. You see how that's kind of fraying? So to stop the ends from fraying and just getting kind of all messy and stuff, what we're gonna do, actually that's a little bit too much, so I'm gonna cut, is melt these with a lighter, okay? Now, make sure you guys, depending on how old you are or what your rules of your house are or whatever, that you get an adult to be okay to either do this for you or watch you do this or do this with you, okay? So that you don't burn yourself, you don't burn down your house, you don't burn your bracelet and ruin it. Okay? You just want to be really careful because this can get really hot and really dangerous. But what you're gonna do is just melt the ends of this, and it's just plastic cording, so it melts. I'm gonna take my lighter, I'm gonna start it, and I'm just going to see how it melts. Really quick, just put it in the thing. Now this is really, really hot, and if you touch that, that plastic will stick to your skin, so don't touch it. Just kind of let this, and then let it cool for a little bit. And then what you want to do is take it and kind of push it down on a piece of paper or something, and that kind of flattens that end. See how that melts, you guys? If that gets on your fingers, I have done it before, it really hurts because that'll stick to your fingers and then it just burns on your fingers. So you don't want to do that. So then just press it down. Touch it to the flame. You can see how it's melting. And then press it down and just kind of flatten it out. And then don't touch it until it is all the way cool. And that's it. You now have a finished paracord bracelet. There you go. You can just put it together and snap it on. See if I can get mine put on. All right, there we go. There's my second finished paracord bracelet. And there you have it. All done. Good luck, you guys.